to my podcast Life Adventures Taught Me. In today's episode we'll be talking about 8 keys for a happier life. So first of all, I would like to say that why I chose this topic because I've been thinking these days a lot about it. So what are the important things that you should consider in order to make yourself feel better? Because I've been thinking about this also in the periods where I felt less good, when I didn't feel so good. For example, now I'm in the period that I feel really good, and I have just passed through the period that I didn't feel so good. So I think now it's a perfect moment to speak about these things because I just went through it. I've been thinking about it when I felt bad, and I've been thinking about it when I feel good, which is now. So I think this is the perfect moment to give the tips that made me feel better, to share these tips and to share these 8 key points that we should focus on in order to be happier. So the name of this topic is 8 keys for a happier life. So let's begin. These keys that I will mention, those are the 8 directions. We can call them whatever. I call them 8 keys, but they can also be 8 directions that we should focus on. In each one of those directions, there are the good things that I take out from. There is where I take the energy into myself, and those are the places, experiences, and things that I do that make me feel better. When I am fully balanced with these 8 keys, these 8 directions, that's where I achieve the full harmony of the life, and I feel better. And I have noticed, like, when I feel balanced on each one of them, everything in my life I receive it on a much better way. So I would relate this 24th episode, I think, with the 22nd episode where I talk about it's all how you receive it. So when I am balancing all these 8 keys, 8 directions, I receive everything in a much more positive and a brighter way. So the number 1 is financial stability. So we should at all costs avoid financial stress. This is something that I've been struggling with many times, and I know that still many of us we do. When you reach an age, when you get a little bit older, like for example me, 28 years old, it's not that you get more serious, but you can conclude, you can realize actually what are the things that are really important in the life that you don't need to mess up with in order to feel better within yourself, like with the life around you, and just live in a balanced life in all directions. So really important thing is financial stability. So besides avoiding financial stress, the reason of being financially stable is to provide yourself a comfortable life, a comfortable lifestyle where you can do the things you like, you can do the things you want, and you have enough money for everything. You need money in everything. Many people are saying money is not important, but in lifestyle generally, and in the system where we live, everything is based on money. And some people, they try to get out of the system and live without money, which is really nice, but I believe that especially people have their own family, or majority of us, we cannot really resist it so easy to get out of the money, because a lot of things depend from our life and from our surrounding, and people in our life, our family, we depend on this system, and in that way we also depend on the money. So we need to have money. Money, it is important until one level. Like once you have it, then everything is like, you can see much on a brighter side. Because why I say this? Because when you are out of money, and when you are reliving the financial stress over and over from day to day, you definitely don't feel good. You cannot focus on the things that you like, so all you have in your head is the thought that you don't have money enough for certain things, and then you repeat over and over in your head. Your mindset, your mentality, and your thoughts are filled with financial necessity and the lack of money that you have. And then you imagine, like, your brain starts playing with you, and then you imagine the things, what can happen, or generally you feel bad if you don't have enough money for doing some things, for example, that your colleagues can do, and then you can feel missed out, you can feel left out. So you don't feel like this. You should achieve your financial stability. That's by finding a job. If you are in the situation where you don't have any money, any work, so the first step you need to do over here is to start searching for a job. Later on, as you have more and more money, you get out of this comfort zone of not having money. The next stage is looking for a job that is better paid, because you already collected some money, now you have more possibilities. And by that way, you will raise yourself, where I would recommend and say that that's what I would like to do in the future, is to have my own business. So you slowly aim yourself towards some directions that you see that, for example, maybe you can make business. So I would say that's like kind of one of the last steps in financial stability, creating your own business. But I know many of us, we are far from there, so the first step is finding the job. The thing, as I mentioned, is creating your own business if possible. So the second direction is social connections. Build and maintain meaningful relationships. Always make time for yourself to socialize. And as I always mention, in this transition period, I have been social, like, less. I was not so social in this transition period in many moments, and I try to, and I understand, like, people who are now listening that they don't feel social enough. I know exactly how you feel. I'm an extremely social person, and sometimes for me it's also really hard to find the right match of people. For me, especially, like, in this period where I'm living in a small area with the people that I'm surrounded with different mindsets, which is also okay. It's not judging, but they are not the same mindset as I am. So in that way, I'm gonna feel good where I will find similar mindset to mine to spend the most of time with. Like this, like, from time to time, it's okay, but generally I think that I should base my life and spend a lot more time in the circles where it's similar mentality to mine. For example, many ideas, if you don't know how to make yourself more social, just join and be a part of some groups. For example, I went to some dances, and I think dances are the perfect place to get social, or some sports, where is the group sports and you can meet more people. So whatever thing it can be, it can even be in art, painting, or whatever. Everywhere you can find some groups of people, and through that, like, you'll see if you like it. If not, then you change. But over there you will meet some people, and by doing different things, trying out different things, you'll see what's for you. Over there you will meet people similar mindset, like the mindset that you have. So the key number 3 is pursue hobbies. So what I would suggest here is that you do what you like. I mentioned that in many episodes. You should do what you like, because those things make you happy. It can be painting, it can be playing sports, it can be running, something related with art, something related with building, something related with creating, because especially in creating, when we are creative, we use our imagination. In this modern society, with this system, we are made not to think too much. To us, everything is served, that we don't need to use our imagination that much. I remember when I was building this house with my father, we were so creative. It was not easy at all, because other keys of my lifestyle. They were kind of left out, so I didn't feel fully balanced, but sometimes we need to sacrifice some of these keys in order to achieve some things, and then later on we come back to this harmony, stability that I'm in now, and then that we should aim for the whole our life. Whole our life? It was weird. The whole our life. So when we do what we like, this recharges our spirit and it makes us feel better. We just feel satisfied, we feel more motivated. So it's really important to do the things that we like. If we don't know what are those things, we should search for them. We should, as I mentioned, try out different things, and from there, step by step, we'll see what is more for us, what feels better for us. And then when we realize what is that we actually like, for the people that don't know what they actually like, we need to explore a little bit, meet new different things, try out, experience it, and then once you know what you like, you should focus on and try to develop yourself more over there and make those things that make you feel good more present in your life, because these things, these activities, they recharge our spirit. So the number 4 is, okay, I know, like many people, they don't show it like this, they show it number 4 like this. I remember my Italian friends, they told me like 1, 2, 3, 4, but no, for me 1 is this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So no, so shit. Number 4, whatever, is set goals. You should define what success means to you. So for example, if you have like big dreams, if they seem really hard to achieve, and that can make you start not believing anymore in it, and then you will not achieve it. So I strongly confirm, whatever dream we have in our brain, if we don't believe in it enough, we won't achieve it. So if you don't achieve things, it's because you don't believe in it. If we have 2 big dreams, what we should do is that you set your big dreams, big goals into smaller dreams, smaller achievable steps. Because on that way it's gonna be easier to achieve one thing one by one. And I've noticed, like, whatever I do, when I, for example, wake up in the morning, I get up, I start doing things, I make tasks. Sometimes I plan my day in advance, and when I do one thing, I want to finish the another one, because I get the satisfaction after finishing the task I have for myself. So it's important not to overbook yourself, but what will help you is like to break the big dream into smaller steps, smaller dreams, or like a big task to smaller tasks, and then like after each task that you finish, you'll get satisfaction. So break it into smaller steps, and from each step take this energy, take this satisfaction that you get, because this satisfaction and little energy that you have, it will motivate you and give you the power to overcome other steps until you achieve the complete dream. Another thing that I would relate with setting goals is planning. Planning is really important in my life. I have realized that without planning or having something planned in the future of my life, even a little single thing, like little plan, to me it means a lot. When I don't have a plan in the future, I really feel so unhappy and not satisfied and unmotivated. I have so much less energy for doing other things in my life, other tasks. So the thing that is killing all of us, I think it's uncertainty. For example, when you don't have money, it's also uncertainty, and uncertainty is connected in all these keys that I mentioned and then that I will mention. When you have uncertainty, whatever of these steps, you don't feel really good, because you spend so much time on thinking, you spend so much time on imagining what is gonna be. I feel really unmotivated when I don't have something planned. For me, it's like, okay, my future is uncertain. Sometimes it's okay like not to have everything planned. It's fine to chill like month, two, maybe even more. When I have for a longer time uncertainty, I don't feel good. So for example, when I have so many tasks in November, okay, I will give myself an award in January and I will make a trip for me like 10 days over there. So now in November, I have it all the time in my thoughts. So in January, I'm going for a trip and it's a kind of good things and it's reminding myself like, oh, there is a good thing waiting for me. Aha, okay, let me then finish all the things on a good way before I go for the trip, and I'm really motivated because I know there is an award and then I do all of these things. But it's different if I have all these tasks to do and then in January there is nothing like good for me waiting. So when I don't have good plans for myself planned in the future, I don't feel good, I don't feel motivated, and I don't feel like myself. So I think planning good things for yourself in the future, it doesn't matter a few days, weekends, weeks, months, years, having something over there will make you much more motivated. That's one of the most important things in order to make yourself to feel better and feel happy. It's also related with being grateful, I would say, and appreciating what you will have in the future. So the key number 5 is healthy routine. We all should prioritize good nutrition, sleep, and consistent meal time for good mental and physical well-being. I'm sure you can find a lot of tips about a healthy routine everywhere, so I would suggest to eat as healthy as you can, more fruits, more vegetables, because it's natural, not this factory produced food that has a lot of chemicals and a lot of, just I would name it, unhealthy things. To eat on time, also to sleep on time and sleep enough, drink also water enough. So one really closely related with the previous one, healthy routine, is to stay active. I totally suggest doing sports or any physical activity. Whatever activity is good for you, whether it's a walk in the forest or around the city, running, riding a bike, swimming, or whatever other physical activity there is that will clear your mind. And I know how I am after every my training or every sport that I do. I feel so much better. I start singing, and through sweat and through all of this activity and effort you put in the game or in your training, all the negative things you're releasing and they are going out and you feel amazing. So this is something that I'm missing a lot right now, but I will implement it in my life a lot more, especially in 2025. It's going to be the main focus, to be really active all the time. Physical activity and exercising boost energy and mood. Key number 7 is nature or time in nature. I suggest you so much, I recommend you so much, spend time in nature. We spend so much time in front of computers, phones, and in offices, in closed rooms. So this is something that we definitely miss a lot. And time in nature, it helps us a lot. It absorbs, the same as through physical activity, socializing, doing the things that you like in the nature, in the forest. All the negativity, all the negative vibrations, all the stress, it just feels released or less present. It feels like it fades away. That's why we need to spend so much time in the nature, because we are also kind of the animals. So we come from the nature. We should come as much as we can in the nature, and by doing physical activity you can be in the nature, by socializing you can be in the nature, by doing the things in your hobbies you can be in the nature. So maybe all of these previous keys that I mentioned, you can also try always to plan them and do those things and spend time more in the nature, because then you hit 2 keys out of this list at the same time or multiple keys at the same time. And the final key, the key number 8, is simplify and appreciate. Simplify, I would say that make your life simple as much as you can. Take a look at your life, analyze it, and try to simplify it. Try to analyze it, try to see what truly matters to you. Send away all the unnecessary things. Get them out of your life. We can name it simplify also transition period. Focus on yourself and realize what really is important to you and what it is not. Take the things that are really important to you, focus on them, try to develop them and base your life on them, and all the things that are not necessary, not important to you, or they don't bring you good energy, just send them away or put them at least on the side. It's important that you simplify your life by realizing what truly matters to you and then focusing on it and appreciating it. Because when you appreciate, you remind yourself of all the good things that you have, you put those good thoughts, positive thoughts in your mind, and that way you create your mindset and then you make your mood better and you generally feel better. So all these 8 keys that I mentioned, try to pack them together, try to focus on them and analyze them and see where you are failing right now because we all do. It's impossible all the time to be perfectly balancing all of them. Realize what are the keys that are not really developing your life. Try to work on them, develop yourself over there. Try to find the right direction in the keys where you feel like you are not doing the best or that you are not going the correct direction that you want. Change it to the direction you want and work on it. What is the most important to conclude this episode is that if you don't feel good right now, try to be balanced with all these 8 keys, and I assure you when you are balanced with all these 8 keys, you will just feel happy and the world around you will seem much brighter and a happier place. So that will be all for today's episode. Thank you for listening to my podcast. I hope that you learned something from this episode. I think I also learned because every time I spoke like this with someone about these things, about your personal development, spirituality or similar things, or whatever things from my life, when I take out my opinion, when I take out the thoughts from my brain, sometimes I'm not aware of them, but like this, talking to myself, in this case, I realize many things and they help me out, they help me a lot. Yeah, I hope it will help you to make your life more balanced and it will lead you to your happier self. Ciao, ciao!